LOVEBUG. I'm excited you're back here with me again. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm excited you're here. This is your July 2020 business energy reading. I am so excited to see what's in store. We spent June really focusing on foundations and really doing all that foundation building that needs to be done and redone because we had so many foundations just being absolutely shaken to their core. And the big energy that I'm getting, that overarching energy I'm getting, is moving forward. Some of us will move forward so swiftly it'll make others' heads spin, and some will move forward a little bit slower. But each of us has our own way, and to be quite honest, some of you have already been moving forward. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Archield. I'm an intuitive business coach, and I love working with socially and spiritually conscious entrepreneurs to help them make a deeper impact and higher profits so we can work together to shift the socioeconomic paradigm. Just some quick housekeeping. I have so much going on. I am one of those people who are just moving forward pretty fast, and I have several awesome things coming up for you. You can check them out in the description below, or even if you want to work with me, definitely check out in the description below, because I have an opportunity that's going to work for most people who are ready to start making some radical changes in their lives and in their business. So I'm so excited about it. And if you just want a little taster, make sure to join the LOVEBUG community. We have an entire group, and I would love to see you there so you can be in community and I can get to know you a little bit better. So I know that you're here for the reading, so let's jump into it and look at these decks. All right, so we've got 5 decks up for you today to choose from. We have deck number 1, deck number 2, deck number 3, deck number 4, and deck number 5. So for those of you who haven't done this before, go ahead. You're going to choose your deck based on an intuitive pull. Sometimes you need to pause and meditate to figure out which deck you're going to choose from. There might be one that's pulling towards you. I basically have these stones out so that we both know that we're working with the same one. If you're wondering, Africa, those decks don't look all that thick. It's because I start building the reading as we go. So this is the first representative card for each of the readings. So when you're ready, you can click on your choice of deck below. You'll see it in the description box or in the first comment. All right, let's go. All right, deck choosers number 1. This is your business energy reading for July 2020. A lot of times when I'm doing these readings, we'll get a little business, a little life, because I firmly believe you are your business. Therefore, your life creeps in. If you're trying to make that transition from career to your own business, you'll see some of that creeping in too. There's a little bit for everybody, but let's see what's going on for you in July as you move forward. You're going to be helped by Liberator. Ooh, all right. So those light attributes, this is an archetype that will help you during the course of July as you make those moves. All right, so Liberator, light attributes, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. Ooh, I love this. Okay, what are those shadow attributes? Imposing your own tyranny on those who you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. Yeah, there's a lot to be said here for what is going on currently. Is there not? Yes. So make sure that as you're going through and you're using this archetype, right, you want to free yourself and others from outdated beliefs and release negative thought patterns. So what does that mean? Part of what's happening for you this month as you're moving forward rather swiftly is dealing with your inner work. There's one thing that I've always found is when we deal with our own inner issues, right, when we do that inner work, that it spreads out to those around us. It's almost an automatic thing. You'll find that people you know, join you, and you all of a sudden attract these people around you, and other people kind of go away. So I'm interested to see what else is going on in this reading for you. All right. So like I said, I build the decks as we go. And I don't know, I just think there's a little fairy energy in here for you. They want to say something. Because sometimes, even with that archetype helping, that liberator archetype helping, there needs to be a way made, right? We need our way made smooth. Or a way made. You know, there's something that's very interesting, I think, when you talk about fairies and fairy magic, is they kind of light up a path, right? And sometimes it's that path that we need to be able to see. All right, so I love these two. Okay, so we've got two waymakers here with our liberator. We've got self-reliance, and we've got miracle healing. So yes, there's some definite waymaking being made for you. The self-reliance, yeah. You have all the tools you need. Now, does that mean that you never ask for help? No. Even people who are self-reliant ask for help. It's as if they're sure enough within themselves to know what they know, and to know when they need mentorship, training, take a course, read a book, etc. They know when it's time for them to go and get extra help. So whereas you may feel like this is a journey that you must take alone, remember I said there's some inner work to be done. And so there is a bit of self-reliance, of what we think of as self-reliance. But also part of that is gathering up of others and allowing them, really. Allowing them and allowing you, okay, allowing them to help you move this thing forward, okay? And so sometimes it is that act of allowing them to support you, right? Sometimes we don't like being supported by others, so we want to do it all ourselves. That kind of idea of self-reliance that actually really isn't that practical, right? Again, know what you're good at, lean into that, get the support you need on the other things. Sometimes it's just a little bit of support, like, oh, I didn't think of it that way, and now I can move on, right? And other times it's full-on support where someone just takes over something else for you that you still monitor, right? But that allows you to lean even further into what you do with such excellence. So that's a way that, like, the fairies are making a way for you. And then you have a miracle healing, which I think this is really all tied together. So the miracle healings, what I'm seeing is that as this is happening, as you're starting to reach out, you're getting the support that you need. You're learning about the things you can do for yourself, right? You don't need to delegate everything. Not everything is someone else's to do. There's some things that you need to do, but you're learning that difference, right? You're honing in that discernment. And that miracle healing comes from being able to release, being able to delegate, being able to be supported in a way that still allows you to be self-reliant. There's so many times, even in my own life, I've seen it in clients, I've been there myself, where it's either I'm totally self-reliant or I'm totally supported, right? And we don't need to be playing at the extremes. There's a way to knit this all together to where you can be self-reliant and you can be supported, right? There's a balancing act there so you don't burn out or you don't just get coddled so much you can't do anything. And so that's that healing inside of that polarity. Wow. Wow. And isn't that an outmoded belief, right? That things have to be polarized. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so let's get some love in here. See what we got here for deck choosers. number 1, July 2020. What do we got here? Where's the love? The love is right there. We've got expectancy and we've got reflection. Yeah, so this is, like I said, that inner work is going to all be about looking within, seeing where we're making those moves ourselves, where we're not really allowing ourselves to be supported because we think we have to do it all alone. And then the expectancy of a good outcome, right? That miracle healing is that good outcome. It's like, okay, let's say, yeah, for a lot of you deck choosers, someone in the past, you've been burned. But you've been seriously burned by whether you hired someone, you got some kind of service, you had a coach, you whatever it is, right? Maybe you're in a collaborative thing and you got burned. Don't expect that to happen every time. That's an expectancy too, right? Expect the best, right? Do the self-reflection. Clean up your side of the street, which I always think is a great thing. Clean up your side of the street and expect the best out of everyone that you come in contact with, out of everyone you opt to collaborate with, out of everyone you choose to hire. And do the reflection. All right. One of the things that I've learned the hard way is when I'm going into a collaboration, hiring a contractor, employee, etc., there has to be some kind of connection, not just with you, which I hope you're checking for that at the forefront, right? A connection to the work that they're supposed to perform, right? Whatever is supposed to be happening, but also a connection into your own culture that you have right now. So if it's just you, maybe it is just you, but chances are it's more than just you. Even if you're a solopreneur, even if you just got started, you have to think about this person's energy not only interacting with you, but interacting with those around you. Remember, you are your business. So their energy is going to leak into the rest of your family, your friends, anyone you're surrounding yourself with. So when we tend to think of things in silos, instead of thinking of them more holistically. So make sure you're taking in that holistic view when you're bringing people into your world. And again, once that vibe is there, once you see what's reflected back to you is beautiful and what is needed, expect the best. Not everything has to go the way something else went. Sorry, I'm getting drawn over here. So let's see what we got in the tarot right now. See what we've got over here in the tarot for deck choosers number 1, July 2020, business energy reading. Okay, we got a little bit. We got a little bit, guys. All right, we've got the 7 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles. We have even more than I thought. The 9 of Pentacles and the 10. Okay, we've got order in some regards here, don't we? All right, so this is definitely about work. It is definitely about hard work and seeing the fruition of your labor. There might be some cleanup that has to be done this month. Is going to be definitely, you put in some seeds. You still might be perfecting things. Seeing the fruits of your labor. Exactly what's going on. By God, it is. If you've been coming through a season, and this, even if this is career-wise, and work in the very recent past. But you're seeing it paying off big. If you're pondering making a transition, going from what you're doing now. Maybe it's a transition from a job to working for yourself. Or even if you have a business and you realize, I'm in this business because I thought this business would make me money, but it's not something I'm passionate about. That kind of movement is there. It is really behind you to make that kind of movement now. Maybe that is part of that liberation that's going on. Ooh, I'm excited for you. All right, a few more cards here. Ooh. These are big ones, guys. These are big ones. Let's see what we got here. July 2020, deck choosers number 1. What do we have for them? Oh, this is lovely. Journey to wholeness. Journey to wholeness. For those of you who are into numerology, this is card number 33. Journey to wholeness. Beautiful card. I'm awestruck by the beauty. I just got this deck, guys, so you have to forgive me when I'm falling in love. So there is something very much about this journey. From liberator, right? Having that liberator archetype to having all eyes on you, right? Remember I said you're probably going to have some support bringing people in. It's scary. And that's because that's part of the journey. That's part of your journey this month. That's part of how you're moving forward so swiftly, right? Because there's a part of what you're doing in which you will need to be elevated, or in which you will be elevated. And sometimes being seen in that capacity can be pretty scary. Like, it's something that we want, and then when we're there, you're like, oh wait, but what if so-and-so sees? What if this happens? What if that? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I'm really not ready? And all these what ifs comes in. That's why you're getting the support. You're getting the support so that you'll actually be ready, because it's coming, right? It's bringing all of you to the forefront and saying, hey, you, the group that I'm called here to serve, the group that I'm here to help you become whole as well. I'm ready. I'm over here. I'm ready to lead. And all of those ones are there. That's why especially if you're in a traditional job right now, or let's say you lost your job, because there's a lot of people who just lost their job. You've been planting these seeds for a while. You've been on this journey for a while. It's time to harvest. It's time to become that whole person and really be out there as all of you. Deck choosers number 1. This is gorgeous. And I am excited mainly because I can see the beauty of your future. I have one more card to pull for you for Miracles Now, because I want to end with a mantra this time for everyone. But what I wanted to say also is, if you're on this road, if you're on this transition, right? That's what I'm seeing here, this big transition. I think it'll be up by the time you see this. I don't know. But if not, go ahead and get on the wait list, if it's a wait list at that time. Get on the wait list of the Magical Business Academy. It's going to really be a great deal of help to you. Even if you just stay in for the first piece, which is all about how to do business differently, integrating the practical and the spiritual. It's a new way of doing business. But the very first bit of it is all about clearing the decks. I would call it clearing the decks and getting real clear about who you are, setting yourself up for success, because it is time for you to harvest. And I think that would be very, very good for you. All right, so yeah, all the information is below in the description. I don't know why I forgot to say that. All right, so let's see what we got here. We've got, I think my way out of fear. I think my way out of fear. Yeah. Like I said, a lot's going to come up. It's part of the journey. And as long as you're fully grounded, right? That's one thing that's also part of that self-reliance piece and getting the right help, etc. You can develop a resilience like that, and you'll be able to think your way out of fear. You'll be able to see fear for what it really is. Right? And at different times, it's different things, but you will be able to see it for what it really is. So I love that. I can think my way out of fear, screenshot it, share it with me on Instagram. Let me know that you saw it and you were deck chooser number 1. And remember, I can think my way out of fear. All right. That's what I have for you, deck choosers number 1. Peace, joy, love to you. Hello, deck choosers number 2. This is your business energy reading for July 2020. I'm excited to see what's in store for you. Ooh, lovely. Mystic is your archetype. This will help you move through July on that momentum that's happening, right? That moving forward. Mystic, light attribute, revels in intimate union with the divine. Shadow attribute, delusional rapport with the divine. So obviously, my loves, we're going deep. All right. So as you may or may not know, I build out the deck as we go. So I'm pulling from different decks on either side of me. And I'm getting a really big pull for this Lemurian deck, which is interesting. The last deck I pulled out of here last. I'm pulling out of here first for you guys. But that's part of building the deck as I go. So I get hits on what is next. And I'm interested to get some clarification on how you're going to use your archetype as you move through July. So, here we go. So what do we have here? For those of you into numerology, we have the infinite, which is 49. So for you, those of you in numerology, it's 49. And we have full spectrum, which is 26. Wow. Okay. Like immediately this came to me, so I'm just going to share it with you for those of you who need to hear this. Not all of you. This is a general reading. So not all of you are going to need this particular bit. All right, deck choosers number 2. One of my friends, his name is John. I'm seeing like something like here, of course, this is so obviously the chakras, but as soon as I saw this one, I thought chakras. And he does this thing where he collapses your chakras and does this crystallization process. For some of you, this is ringing all sorts of bells in your ears right now. And if so, reach out to me. I will get you his information. For others of you, you're like, I don't know what she's talking about. That doesn't feel right for me, and that's okay. It's not for everyone. Okay? But it is for some of you. And if you know that you need this service, then definitely reach out to me and ask me for John's information. All right, so that was just a huge hit for this for you guys in deck choosers number 2 for some of you. All right, so we've got the infinite, and right now we know, like I said, I wanted some clarification on how we're using the archetype of the mystic throughout July. We've had the infinite and the full spectrum. It just means it's full on, guys. It's full on. Make sure that your rituals are in place, right? Your AM, PM rituals. If you don't have them, let me know. Part of what I'm working on in my Magical Business Academy is going to be on AM, PM rituals. That's going to be so important for you to develop your own. Like, you don't need to necessarily have mine. If you'd like to adopt mine, that's fine. But it's going to be important for you to develop yours, because this is like what I would call your grounding check-ins with the divine. You're going to have those conversations throughout the day anyway. But that AM PM ritual grounds you, because this is a time where, like I said, June was a lot of foundation shaking. And the foundations were quite literal, right? And the foundations even are metaphorical, even on 3D plane. But then there were foundations shaking on that 5D plane too, is foundation shaking. And you saw how the infinite was, and you could see that connection. This, I truly feel, is for everyone who chose in deck number 2. And so it's seeing it, and then it's bringing it back in and bringing it down and sharing it. That's where the mystic comes in. So you can see it, and you're connecting to that infinite, and then you're grounding it and bringing back down here and sharing that truth, sharing that vision. And that's going to take some calibration. You know, there's something, as for a strange example, I had a friend, her boyfriend, now husband, worked for an amusement park. And what he did every day was check the bolts on a roller coaster. Right? And so that was just what he did every day to make sure it was safe for people to ride, obviously. And there were even certain things that had to be checked multiple times during the day just to keep it safe. And I thought that was really interesting, and not that I want to go around tightening bolts forever. And I'm sure there were some they didn't tighten all the time, because those weren't a stress point issue, but maybe they're on some different kind of cycle. What I'm saying is develop those rituals so that you're the tightest and best container to envision up and pull back down. Right? It's tuning the container, which is you. You're the tap that it's flowing through. And that's what I'm talking about. That is one of the main reason for the AM PM rituals. Make sure those are on point. Again, if not, reach out. Let's get those things going. All right, so let's see what else we have here. All right. You got, I am so interested to know what is coming up for you. Like I said, a lot of foundations have been shaken throughout June. And so I'm really curious to see what you have seen, right? Are you ready to even sort of share? Make sure you do it below, because I would love to know. Some major things, visions, real disruptors have come up for people and are like, what is this? Like, I didn't think this was a thing. Or, this goes against everything I believe, right? As major disruptors are coming, you've been called on to share that disruptive information, and you're welcome to start in the comments below. You can also jump over to the LOVEBUG community and let us in. Let us know. Get the practice on sharing those disruptive messages, because sometimes it's just you have nowhere to go and feel safe with sharing them. Okay. All right, so what else have we got here? I don't know. I was kind of pulling as I was talking. So we've got the Three of Pentacles. We've got the Princess of Pentacles reversed, with the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Cups reversed. All right, so there is a lot going on. Yeah, right now it's, as I'm filming this, Mercury is in retrograde. And probably when you see this, especially if it started beginning of July, Mercury will still be in retrograde. So just know that some things are going to feel out of sorts with communication. And there might be where people will okay, yeah, sorry. I'm kind of getting the rest of it down. I started talking before it was all here. as this information is coming for you, remember I say create a safe place to share so that you get used to sharing. And as you move out, even in the safe place, sometimes people will be like, what? Right? And that's okay. As long as you're willing to hear the what. They're saying because they don't understand. Right? One of the things that happens in Mercury in retrograde is communication gets garbled. Right? That's one of the things that could happen because Mercury is all about communication. So that's why they say, oh, the electronics go in such and such, because that has to do with communication aspects. But communication among people gets garbled too. So even in that safe place, you might still get some raised eyebrows or you might have to go back and explain a different way to clarify. And clarifying is perfectly okay, right? All right, so let's see what else we've got here. We've got the Princess of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, it's not necessarily going to be a walk in the park, but anyone who's coming on strong and is fully into their mystic area, it's usually not a walk in the park. Because even in your safe place, there's going to be people who don't understand that will need more clarification because they want to know, right? That's why I say sometimes it's nice to start in the safe place. That safe place probably isn't your friends or family. But then even as you start sharing that information out with friends and family, out with the greater world, that people are going to more than just give you the side eye, right? It's more than we don't understand. It's like, what in the heck, right? And that, again, can be a little disconcerting. So I want to kind of let you know up front, it's a thing, and it's okay, but this is your work. This is your work. It's not their work, it's your work. All right? So get your work done. Get your message out that you've been given to give to the world. This is just a whole lot of truth, right? Being pushed out there. And there's a way to be diplomatic about it, but there's a force behind it. And usually, especially in what I like to call the woo community, we like not to be so forceful. We like to just be happy and kind of float, and it's going to be all right, and let's all get along and sing kumbaya. But sometimes you've got to come out with a little bit of force, right? And that's what's being called upon you because you've got truth to share that needs to be heard. And so you can't tiptoe around. You got to be up front. That's why the attunement, all this energy is coming and flowing through you. That's why you have the mystic as a guide, because the mystic realizes it's not tiptoeing around the edges. It's getting out there. It's being seen, and it's being, most of the time, disliked. And that's okay, because you're sharing truth. So emotionally, I really want you to make a point of, I want to say pull it together. Have that, when I remember over here, I talked about the safe place where you can release emotionally, right? Have a place where you can really tap into self-care. Because this attunement, remember I talked about AM and PM rituals. That's part of your self-care because there's going to be a lot coming at you. All right? But it's going to be okay. Just knowing it up front means you can handle it, right? Knowing up front means you can make provisions. And that's one thing I would look at is just making sure you, again, I can't stress enough for you guys, AM, PM rituals in place. Make the right provisions so you have the self-care. All right, let's see what else we've got for you. Deck choosers number 2, July 2020. What else do we got here? Yeah, whatever that strong message is, this is what's moving you forward. It's not only moving you forward, having to carry it. Man, it is moving everyone forward who hears it. Or it's moving them one direction or another. I like to think of, things moving forward, right? Like that is the best thing. For some people, it's going to move them right backwards, right? Because they're going to repel so hard from it. They don't want to hear it. But this is you moving forward. This is you stepping up boldly. Wow, these first two decks have had a bold movement, right? Bold movement. What else? What do we have here? We've got a win-win outcome in the forecast. Full moon in Libra. Love it. Yeah. It's when you're coming with the truth, it is a win-win, even if people don't like it. But Libra is always that beautiful diplomat. So maybe you will have a better outcome with your truth. I guess what I'm saying is, don't get dismayed. And people eventually come around. People eventually come around. But there's some win-wins. So if you're doing something very specific, and I don't know what it would be. Let me see if something comes early. Quickly about something. Okay. It's not so much that people adopt your viewpoint. It's that people respect you. You don't have to agree with everyone, and not everyone has to agree with you. Right? Maybe they're not ready for your truth. They're on a different bus. They're in a different book. They're on a different page in the same book, right? There's always more than one way up the mountain. I don't know how many other little idiom metaphors I can go with. However, if you still come away respecting one another, I think that's pretty key. And that's why I'm getting here on the win-win. The win-win doesn't mean that they see it your way. It's that you're heard. It's that you're heard. All right? That's what I'm getting here for your win-win. It's that you're heard. Let's see. We got a little bit more for you. July 2020, deck choosers number 2, who have now been heard and had a lot of cards fly. a lot. All right, so for those of you in numerology, this is card number 36, Moonlight, card number 18, Apprehension, and I'm not sure what I want to do with this, but I'm going to put it here. Card number 17, Achievement. Yeah, this just keeps tying it together. So again, sometimes you don't want to come out hard and strong. That's the apprehension, moving out into the world with, doubt and fear. That totally makes sense because what you're sharing, so I can't wait to hear what it is. But even though all that's happening, there's moonlight, travel, romance, potential. There's a lot of potential to change the way people see and think about things. Even if they don't hear it initially, it makes a change within them. It tweaks their vibration, right? Achievement, keep focused on your dream, right? So whatever this is, there's a lot. I'm telling you guys, July 2020 is that forward motion time. There's a lot of energy into moving forward into what you were actually called to do. For what the downloads that you're getting right now, there's a lot of energy behind putting them into motion. It's incredible. Incredible. So, wow. This is nuts. This is nuts. All right, I want to leave you with a mantra. July 2020, deck choosers number 2, that you can carry with you throughout this month as you're leaning into that mystic archetype. Working on your AM, PM rituals. If you don't know anything about that or, how to construct your own, hit me up. Join the Magical Business Academy. I think there's still a wait list. With the wait list, once the doors open, there's going to be some significant discounts going on and bonuses. So you're going to want to check that out. But yes, a win-win is in the forecast. And here is your mantra. When I allow others to support me, I support them too. I'm giggling because this part of deck one had a lot to do with support. When I allow others to support me, I support them too. So get the support that you need, deck choosers number 2, as you lean fully into your mess deck. All right. I cannot wait to hear what downloads you've been getting. So that I say peace, joy, love to you. Hello, deck choosers number 3. This is your July 2020 business energy reading. We're gonna get on with it. Let's see what archetype you can use during July 2020 as you move forward with what you're doing. Get into motion. Mentor. Okay. Light attribute, passing on wisdom, refining a student's character. Shadow attribute, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master. Imparting false instruction. So it looks like you will be getting a mentor, or that you are a mentor for someone in July. You're helping people move forward. I'm excited. All right. I'm excited. I start doing my sing-songy thing. So bear with me. Let's see what deck we need to start with. Feeling the fire. I am feeling the fire for you guys. All right. Let's see here. July 2020. Deck choosers number 3. I was feeling the fire for you guys. And let's see what we need to learn about this mentor archetype and how that's going to play into you guys moving forward in July 2020 with what it is, what you're here to do. Okay. Let's see. We've got Winter's End. For those of you into numerology, that's card number 16. Regeneration, rebirth, positive outcome. And we've also got card number 15, the Temptress, seduction, deceit, a broken promise. All right, so this is what this is telling me. Something's coming to an end, and there's been an issue, which is why it's coming to an end. So maybe, for some of you guys that have chosen deck number 3, this July is leaving a situation. Now that situation could be a relationship, partnership, a mentor. It's leaving a situation, right? And by leaving that situation, it makes things move better, more fully, more swiftly in your life. But that's like, for some of you, that's exactly what's happening. It's the movement forward is leaving. I always like to think to myself, when I'm moving forward towards something, not just away from something. But in this case, for some of you who've chosen deck number 3, it's definitely moving away from something, right? Let's see if we can get any more clarification on that. Deck choosers number 3, July 2020. Let's give this a good shuffle. Yeah, it's someone who has, like I said, it's someone who has taken the time to guide you. Maybe we're in the wrong place. They're the shadow attribute of the mentor, about not letting someone move on to their next role, or imparting false instructions, something like that. It's a bad news situation where you're literally being held back, and that's why you got to scoot. Right? And that, again, this is a general reading for some of you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? For others, you're like, I don't know, maybe not. So let's get some more clarity on this. We got a lot of reversals. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Cups reversed, and the King of Cups reversed. So yeah, this has been taking mainly an emotional toll. Right? This has been taking mainly an emotional toll on you. I'm sorry, that's not the King, it's the Knight. Knight of Cups reversed. This has been taking an emotional toll. It's, you're suppressing ideas. So whatever's happened here in this relationship, it's been a suppression of ideas, a suppression of your identity. Right? And so now that all of that's been suppressed over time, now emotionally you're kind of reaping you're reaping those rewards, and they're not really rewards. In fact, you might find yourself physically reaping those rewards because the emotional has now manifested physically in the body. So be very mindful. If you're teetering at anything like this, you know, what's coming to me, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can find a clip to play, but a Monty Python, I can't remember which one it is, and they go, run away, run away, run away. I think they're running away from the buddy with the pointy teeth. But that's like the imagery I'm getting, which is, again, kind of funny, but also kind of terrifying. And again, I'm always for moving toward what you want and what you need, not running away from something. But again, I'm still getting that. A lot of suppression. Emotionally, you're at this point where it's not working. That's also, you're repressing some emotions, and now it's starting to manifest physically in the body. So this is a bad news situation. You need to get out. I almost feel like ending right there, but I always like to look to see if there's a little bit of hope, and I'm feeling it here. Right? Let's see. That's interesting. This is the first time I've had a reading where I look at the archetype, and it's, you need a different mentor, right? Someone that can help you figure this out. A bestie, even, right? That can help you see the situation for what it actually is, and then make a plan to move forward. Right? Sometimes it's hard to make those plans for ourselves because we'll put up 50 million obstacles in the way. I've done it, so that's what I'm saying. I know. When actually it's pretty simple. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. We've got, again, for those of you into numerology, we've got the root, number 2, the root chakra, ground and center. And number 1, the Earth Star chakra, initiation. Yeah. This to me, like, I'm looking at these, and the first thing I'm getting is find yourself. There's this big idea, this big thing that's wanting to get birthed through you, that's been held down, suppressed so long. You need to dig it up. That will be the impotence to keep moving forward. Whatever that is, no matter how wacky it might seem, that is your thing. That is what you're called here to do. And so it is going to be a kind of initiation. But it's an initiation into you and who you really are. That is, gosh, that's what I'm really seeing hard. So, yeah, this is going to be, as much as you need outside help, making a plan to kind of get out of your own head, you also need to do that inner work. And you need to do a lot of grounding. I'll try to remember to put in a video that I have on grounding and centering. That's just on doing that. I have a lot of guided meditation videos, so check all of those out. But this is this initiation into you. It's going to be key to keep you moving forward. Yeah. Really key. I think we've got a few more cards for you. Deck choosers number 3. I'm feeling for you guys. So, like, seriously, deck choosers number 3, let me know. If you don't want to talk about it in the comments, you're welcome to reach out to me in the DMs on Instagram. It's probably the best way. Like, you can even send me a direct message on YouTube, but I've never sent one, so I don't know how. But I know it's a possibility. But reach out. Definitely reach out. If you don't reach out to me, reach out to somebody. Okay? Reach out to somebody. All right, what else we got here? Okay. We've got a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. So what I like is when, you know, these is if, again, if you're Virgo or if you got a Virgo in your life, pay real attention, sun, moon, or rising. I know this says a time to give rather than take because Virgos are natural born givers. But I have a feeling it's not so much what they're taking, but receiving. So there's giving and then there's receiving. So be willing to receive, especially if your Virgo, sun, moon, or rising is probably an issue for you. All right, believe in the impossible. And that is what it's going to take. This, whatever this is, this seems like an impossibility. Like, what? It seems like an impossibility. Believe in the impossible. That's what we're here for. And I love that this is cute. I always think of once in a blue moon, the vernacular meaning that it rarely happens. Blue moons happen all the time. They happen a few times a year. So the impossible really isn't impossible, right? It's actually pretty probable. All right, so, and over here, confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. Again, Leo, sun, moon, or rising, pay particular attention. Wink, wink, I am a Leo. And confidence will help you get out there. Confidence will help you get out from under this situation. Because chances are, as you've moved through the situation, it has really been a crisis of confidence. You stopped believing in yourself because your confidence has been torn down over time. And so now it's that rebuilding process. That rebuilding process, again, grounding in center, taking that initiation to who you really are. It's going to be so key to pulling out of this situation. All right, guys. I want to give you a mantra to take you through July. July 2020, deck 3. While I'm pulling that, I want to say, you know, I've been telling everyone about my Magical Business Academy because I'm super excited about it. You can get on the wait list. There's all sorts of goodies in there for you. But for you guys, deck choosers number 3. The introspection that happens between now and when the first class is in the academy is what you need, right? It takes you through this kind of initiation journey. That's going to be key for you guys to figure out who you are and to unearth this thing that you deemed impossible. All right, let's see what your mantra is. I can find peace in every breath. Oh, that's beautiful. And for some of you who chose step number 3, you need to hear that. You need to pull that in, and you need to be repeating it to yourself nonstop. I can find peace in every breath, because every breath is an ending and a beginning. And you're moving forward, and you're moving forward, and you're moving forward. Woo! Deck choosers number 3. Please reach out. And until you do, peace, joy, love to you. Deck choosers number 4. This is your July 2020 business energy reading. I'm excited to be here with you today. We're going to get going with it right now, looking at your archetype card, which will help you move forward during July. So like this is that little part that kind of guides you in. We've got storyteller, light attribute, ability to experience life through stories and symbols. Love that. Shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others. All right, so let's see how this is going to help you move forward, taking those next steps now that you've built up foundations during July. How the storyteller archetype is going to help you move forward. Like I have some ideas, but I want to see what it says. All right, so let's come over here. This deck, a little grounded love. Right, let's see what we have here for deck choosers number 4. What is the storyteller about? How's that helping them move forward here in July 2020? How does this work for them? All right, birth. Of course, you are birthing something. And every good birth has a story. So I'm interested to see what is it that's coming up for you right now, right? You know, like I said, every good birth has a story. Deck choosers number 4, what is going on? Where are you birthing up? Tell me in excruciating detail. I'm thinking about this and I'm giggling. I'm smiling because I have a birth story for each of my kids about what it was like when I was in labor, what it was like when they were actually physically being born, and what they were like right afterwards. And they love hearing their birth story. Love it. And so tell your birth story. Tell the story of your business. Tell the story of your new idea. Tell the birth story, because it will, stories are how people remember things, right? Stories are how people remember things. There's facts or figures, they get those things confused, but they remember a good story, right? They remember a good story. All right, so for those of you into numerology, we pulled card 27. Yeah, 27 and 22. Might have to start wearing my glasses. All right, Enchanted Forest. Mystery, magic, and excitement. Yeah, again, birth story, always the excitement. And Sacred Journey, right? Life cycles, family, transformation. Yeah, you're really going to go out there and tell a story, right? And it's going to it'll take people on this beautiful journey. There'll be a lot of excitement. There could be some magic. There's definitely always a hint of mystery in a story. And transformation, right? So that birthing can also be emblematic of like the Phoenix Rising, right? Of that story where XYZ happened and you took a fall and you rose up from the ashes even stronger, right? I'm excited to hear your story. All right, so what else do we have for you guys? Yeah, I really feel like that's it. Hone your story. You know, if there's one thing I tell clients, you can tell your story of your business, of your product, whatever it is. Be able to tell it in about a minute and be able to tell it in about 20 to 30 minutes. And if you could do those two things, it's kind of like what I call the accordion. You can tell it in that accordion method where you have the core pieces you could spit out in about a minute, maybe up to 3, right? And you can also extend that out to give more detail and more depth. That's going to be key, because people don't get sick of the story. You may get sick of telling it before people get sick of hearing it. All right? All right, so what else do we have here for deck choosers number 4? I'm telling you, these pentacles just keep coming up. All right, so we've got the 8 and 7 of Pentacles here upright. We've got the King of Swords reversed. And we've got the 9 of Pentacles upright. Your story tells about the fruit of your labor. Like you put seeds in the ground, honey, they're starting to come up. They are starting to come up. It is time to harvest. And you're harvesting through your story. Your story is very, very powerful, your birth story. Sometimes we embellish our stories. Have your story grounded in truth. Have your story grounded in truth. Why have it grounded in truth? Because it's reality. We all love a story. It's nice to think of things having a straight line. But the reality is it goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. And then it goes back here and then back up there. And then over here and then down there. And then da-da-da-da-da. So we finally get to where we're going. Stories grounded in truth do that. So don't skip over the parts where you don't seem like you're doing well. Or you don't seem like the hero. Right? This is your birth story. There's going to be parts that aren't so glorious that symbolize you. Keep it grounded in the truth. And I think that you're going to be doing really well with that. All right? So, and it literally, especially if you've been doing not as well in business, it's like polishing it up. It's like getting it together, and you will reap the rewards. You will reap the rewards. Okay. So let's see what else we've got here for deck choosers number 4. Such a happy little reading. I love storytelling. Please, please, please tell me your story. I would love to hear your birth story. I personally would love to hear your birth story. I like a good story. All right, we've got Earth. For you in numerology, 14, Nurture Nature. And we've got card number 27, Furried and Feathered Friends. So furred and feathered friends. So yeah, these are definitely part both in nature. So that's telling me to bring some natural aspects into your story, especially if it's true for you. It's kind of like, I'm a great lover of nature. I was like, a lot of people say people vote on certain issues. I tend to vote with the environment. Always have. Since college. Vote with the environment. Like that has been my number one issue. Am I the person out there saving the whales? Or am I the person out there, even on a typical day, I'm not outside. But I always vote with the environment because I know it's good for everyone to nurture nature and to make sure things are in place. So other people who love being outside, like I'm always for climate controlled environment, climate controlled nature. I always tell people I love climate controlled nature. Like put me in a house with air conditioning and heating and glass all around so I can be surrounded by nature and climate control. That's the kind of girl I am. I'm just saying. However, a lot of people wouldn't figure that out to necessarily be me up front, right? So that's a story of me and my love of nature, my love of animals, my desire to make sure that nature is flourishing. And yet I take a step back from nature at the same time. Again, it's that contradiction. And where does that join together and how does that work? And that's what tells a great story. Okay? I want to leave you guys with a mantra. And again, I would love to hear your story. You can tell me down in the comments. Jump over into the LOVEBUG community. You can tell me about it there. And if you're so inclined, go ahead and sign up for the Magical Business Academy. I think it's going to be waitlisted, or it might be open by the time you see this. I don't know, because it depends on when you see it. And I would love to have you in there and help you hone your story. All right. So what is your mantra that's going to help you get through July? When I allow others to support me, I support them too. I don't remember which other deck got this one, but it is perfect. Get the support that you need so you can tell your story far and wide. Get the support you need so you can tell your story far and wide. It's going to be so important. I'm excited to hear about it. And it'll be really interesting. Tell me what that major component is all about. All right. With that, I say to you, peace, joy, love. To you, deck choosers number 5. This is your July 2020 business energy reading, and we are going to get started. First up is the archetype card. This is what's going to help lead you through July. You can lean into this archetype energy of Rebel. Light attributes: challenges authority to affect social change, reject spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Shadow attributes: rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. That is a call out for so many people today. There is so much rebellion going on. I love a good revolution, but it's like, are you rebelling or joining this revolution because it's fashionable, it's the thing to do, or are you doing it because it's something you actually believe in? Something to really think about. All right. After all that little preamble, let's jump into this. I feel like going all the way over here. For those of you who don't know, I build out the decks as we go. So I'm choosing from decks to my left and to my right. And this is for deck choosers number 5. We've got some Rebel energy going. This is how we're moving forward in July 2020. And I would love to see what this Rebel energy is going to really mean for you. All right. So we've got the new moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead, and new moon in Sagittarius, luck is on your side. So whatever revolution that you're going on with right now, it's good. Luck is on your side, prosperity is ahead. Make sure it is what you believe in. Right? Revolution is happening at all sorts of levels right now. Because in June, we've had a lot of foundations being absolutely shaken up. Societal, religious, interpersonal, political, all the different ways. People have been shaken up, woken up, and told, rebuild these structures. Right? So whichever cause that you're involved in, prosperity lies ahead, luck is on your side. Let's go, baby. All right, I am loving this. Let's see how the fairies are making way for you. All right, so deck choosers number 5, July 2020. And especially if you're integrating this, I'm going to say this right now. A lot of people have now made this cause a business, right? That has happened for a lot of people. They look at trends and they ride that trend. And that is somewhat fashionable. However, like I said, if it's something you believed in anyway and didn't know how that could work to be a business, congratulations. It has happened for you. A way has been made, right? And now you're in business. So this looks pretty good for you guys. And for some of you, it has been waking up and incorporating social justice into your business, right? And that has been different for you. And how do you talk about that without pissing off half the peoples? Don't worry. The peoples that stay really want to learn from you. All right, so oddly enough, and the people who go, good, it's a detox. So one of the things that you're going through this is to detoxify. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Release people who aren't the right people to be around you as you move through this time. Why? Because they just weigh down your energy. They become an energy leak for you. right? I typically talk about energy leaks. I do sometimes talk about them in terms of people, but I typically talk about energy leaks as in those to-dos that we haven't done and we're trying to forget about. If we just close our eyes hard enough and push them far enough back in our minds, we'll forget, right? And that becomes an energy leak because we don't forget. It's just leaking energy in the back of our brains instead of in the front. So we need to detoxify that. I think of energy leaks also in the way, in detoxification specifically, going through a cleansing of our bodies. You can go through also a cleansing of your mind. So while I'm closing energy leaks, I'm going through a cleansing of the mind, that kind of detox. But you can go through a physical detox with foods and drinks, etc. That can really help you get even clearer. It's interesting how a physical detox helps with a mental detox. So definitely take a look at that. Don't let all these other people get to you, guys. Don't matter, right? This is what you're doing. You know, I was hearing something, I keep hearing it in my head right now, so I'm sharing it. The revolution will not be televised. Doesn't mean that the media is gonna like not show it. They'll show any ugly part of anything that they possibly can, because ratings. But that it's not televised because it happens person to person, discussion to discussion, small group to small group. That's a revolution really takes hold because it changes people's minds. And that isn't something that's televised. All right, so, right, because it's hard to televise in ratings. All right. Okay, there we go. So let's see. There's a couple of more in there we need to look at. We've got the Ten of Swords. Yeah, that's perfect. Again, it's to me that's more about this detoxification, the Ten of Swords, because it's literally, this isn't about you and your ego, right? Not at all. This is not about you and your ego, and that's where your Ten of Swords is coming in. It's like killing off all that and letting the purity of whatever this is come through. The Eight of Swords. What do we got? The Nine of Swords. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's talk about these swords. This, I know this came up earlier. I just don't remember what deck it was. When you're killing off the ego, because it's not about you, it still becomes about you. Right? That's what my reminder here is with the Nine of Swords. Because people look at you. You might be a leader of this. You might just be a part of it. And for someone, you are the only person they know involved in whatever movement this is. And so then it becomes about you to them. And you feel put on the spot. And it can give you a lot of anxiety, a lot of worries. Remember, it's not really about you. It's about the cause. And that's really easy to say right now sitting here. It's like, you're not the one with the anxiety. You're not the one with the people blowing up your DMs with ugliness. You're not the one, whatever. You have to get yourself mentally sound. Detoxify your feed. Detoxify your phone. Detox these folks, these ideas, these messaging out of your life. At least for now. Right? You can mute people for 30 days. I think on Facebook or whatever. Right? Or you could just not go on Facebook. Or like me, I tend to go on Facebook and only go to certain groups I'm part of. And my timeline never gets looked at. It's a choice. It's a choice. And here at the Eight of Swords, like the big thing I'm getting here, I'm getting like deep Libra energy. Which means I love it with Rebel because it's rooting for the underdog. That's what big Libra energy always is for me. And that diplomacy that happens. I typically would say silence. Sometimes it's just good to be silence. But silence also especially in regards to your cause, might be being complicit in a way that you don't want to be. So big Libra energy, roots for the underdog, looks for where there could be justice, looks for that compromise, opens up the diplomacy so people can hear. If they can't, detoxify. Detoxify, detoxify, detoxify. It's a big, big, big thing for you this time. All right, deck choosers number 5. Wow. I was hoping for a nice lightness going on. There still could be some light in here. I think, like I said, the thing is, you got whatever cause you're involved in, right? It's beautiful. It's wonderful. There's a lot of good things happening. Prosperity lying ahead. Luck's on your side. Your biggest thing is detoxify people out of your life. Well, I wouldn't say out of your life. Detoxify your social media. Detoxify your phone. Make sure that you can stay focused. And so that you can be as clean and clear as possible. Clean and clear as possible. One more. I'm only laughing because it just came up. Okay. Wow. Alright, so for those of you into numerology, I pulled card 27 and card 56. Card 27 is furred and feathered friends, so it's getting out of nature. So I'm very interested to see if your cause has to do with the environment. Of course. And unique gifts. Your unique gift is your perception of reality. The way that you see things. I should say this. This is going to be for some of you that chose deck 5, but you'll know who you are, and this is going to speak to you. The way that you see reality is a little different. It's almost as if you're seeing two different worlds. You're seeing that blurred line. You're seeing the overlay of the multiverse, right? Of maybe two different universes in the multiverse. That is your unique gift, is to see that and to emanate the lessons that are gleaned from seeing that contrast, processing that through into your heart, and then letting it come back out. Because it's spoken out with love. It's going to make such a difference. That's going to help you so much with your diplomacy efforts here. That it's spoken back out with love. You can see it. Other people can't. They don't even get it. But you can see the two, three different universes, whatever that multiverse aspect is for you. I'm seeing it as a real blur that whirls in and out. Obviously, you might see it a little bit differently than that. But it's almost as if that contrast as it's flying in and out. Like you're walking this way, right? And you have universes flying in and out, and you're looking through them and you're seeing. That is your unique gift, that kind of sight that others don't have. That's what you're bringing over here to your cause to help deal with the challenges and that are involved in it. That's why luck's on your side, right? That's why luck's on your side. But stay very emotionally attuned to it. It's your emotions that help you with that attunement to see that blurriness and make it clear. Okay? That's like the big thing I'm seeing for you. That's pretty huge. It's pretty darn big. Pretty darn big, guys. I'm excited. Let me grab one more. Go here. Okay, deck choosers number 5. Let's see what else. Any other thing we need to know about? Should move forward with this revelation. Anything else we need to know about this revelation? Got 3 cards, maybe 4 here. We've got Zen Garden, Tree of Life, and Liberation. All right, Zen Garden is card 38, Tree of Life is card 1, and Liberation's card 25. Not surprising to see that with Rebel. Liberation, breaking free from negative attachment. Well, I'll just put that right here with detoxification. We'll just let that lie. Zen Garden, inner sanctuary. We talked a lot about that too. And Tree of Life, fertility, creativity, destiny, and magical blessings. Talking about this prosperity, luck being on your side, everything coming together. And it sounds like you're going to be really out there at the forefront of your movement. I'm excited for you. I'm always looking to link up with other movement people. People are interested in social justice because that is huge for me. And I never talked about it much before. I'm starting to talk about it more now. But definitely, if that is something that you're into, social justice, shifting the socioeconomic paradigm, let's talk. You can reach me down below in the description, and if you are so inclined, sign up for the waiting list or check out the Magical Business Academy, because there's going to be some socially and spiritually conscious folks in there just like you. All right, so let's see what your mantra is. Oh, there we go. It's upside down for me. That's what it is. My presence is my power. I love it. All right, deck choosers number 5. I'm so excited. Let me know in the comments below about your revolution. That I say peace, joy, love to you.